Hi everyone, my name is Ms. Shuri Shiva and I'm here with the Kansas City Public Schools, and this is Science for 5th and 6th grade. Today we will be learning about a geosphere. What is geosphere and what are components of the geosphere? Also, you will be talking about how geosphere interact with other two spheres we already know about, hydrosphere and atmosphere. So you already know that there are four parts of the Earth we call spheres. There are four spheres. They work together as a whole complex: atmosphere, biosphere, geosphere, and hydrosphere. All right, let's go ahead and start it. The geosphere is a solid part of the Earth. It is made up of rocks, minerals, and soil. The ground you walk on is a part of the geosphere. Mountains also are part of the geosphere. The geosphere extends under the oceans and make up the continents. If you dig a hole all the way through to the center of the Earth, do you think the Earth will look the same? Scientists have learned that Earth is not the same all the way through. Components are different and temperature is different. Temperature becomes greater and pressure becomes greater as well. Our Earth has three different layers: crust, mantle, and core. And each layer made of different materials. The thin outer layer of the Earth is called the crust. The crust is thick in some places and thin in other places. The crust is made up of loose rocks and soil. Under the rocks and soil, the crust is solid rock. We live on the crust. Next layer is mantle, and it is about 2,900 kilometers thick. More than 2/3 of the mass of the Earth is in the mantle. The mantle has two parts. Upper mantle is a plastic solid rock that can flow like a liquid, like a thick liquid, and the lower mantle is solid rock. The inner layer or center of the Earth is called a core. The core is about 3,500 kilometers thick. Core has two parts: the outer core and inner core. Outer core is a liquid layer and it contains melted iron and nickel, and the inner core is a solid iron and nickel. I hope you guys remember that in science we use models to represent something small or something really big. So I have here hard-boiled egg. So I'm going to use the egg modeling for you layers of the Earth. Okay, let's do a quick observation. Just look at the egg. So we see shell and what is inside. Which part of the egg can be compared to the Earth's crust? What do you think, guys? Which part of the egg can be compared to the Earth's mantle and Earth's core? Okay guys, let's go ahead and go back to crust. So we just learned that crust made of rocks and soil. Many people collect rocks and minerals, and you can find them anywhere. Rocks and minerals are closely related, but they are not the same. How are they the same and how are they different? Minerals are solid inorganic substance that is naturally formed in nature. Minerals have crystal structures, which means that the atoms in mineral are arranged in an ordinary pattern that repeats over and over again. Rocks are a mixture of different minerals, volcanic glass, organic matter, and some other materials. When you look closely at the rock, you can see different colors and sometimes sparkles, which show the different components and minerals. Okay guys, let's go ahead and talk about other part of a geosphere, which are mountains, plains, and plateaus. They all are main continental landforms. So the landforms are the part of geosphere as well. A landform is a physical feature of the Earth's surface. A plain is a large flat area not much higher than sea level. There are two kinds of plains, coastal and interior. Their names tell us where they're found. Coastal plains are found along the coastlines. Interior plains are located inland. A plateau is a large flat region just like a plain is. However, plateaus have higher elevations than plains. Most plateaus are found inland. Some are located near the ocean. Plateaus near the ocean usually end with a cliff. Many plateaus have canyons. A canyon is a steep side of valley curved out by stream erosion. One of the most well-known canyon is the Grand Canyon. It is located in the southwest United States. How do plateaus form? Large areas of the Earth's crust are moved upwards, or some plateaus are formed by lava. The lava cools and hardens, forming a large raised area. Everybody knows what a mountain is. It is a section of land that is much higher than the land around it. To be classified as a mountain, the top of a hill or mound of land must be at least 600 meters higher than the surrounding land. Mountains can be described in three stages: young, mature, and old. A young mountain has a steep slope. Its peaks are sharp, and valleys in young mountains are narrow. As a mountain becomes mature, its peaks are worn down by weathering. The peaks become more rounded and the slopes become less steep. As a mountain becomes old, its peaks become almost flat. There is no jagged peaks, and old mountain looks like a rolling hills. The valleys in old mountains are wide. All right, now we know what is geosphere and what is its components. And let's go ahead and answer the last question for today: how geosphere interacts with other two spheres we learned before, hydrosphere and atmosphere. Let's talk about it. The Earth's surface changes all the time. While the Earth is constantly building mountains and land masses, it is also constantly broken down by weathering and erosion. Weathering is when rocks are broken down into smaller pieces. The main forces that break down rocks are mechanical and chemical. Mechanical weathering is physically breaking rocks down, and examples would be ice wedging, plants and animals' activity, abrasions, and so forth. Chemical weathering is when rocks are broken down by chemical reactions. Example would be oxidation. Oxygen can react with the rocks and metals such as iron to break them down. Plant acid, like plant roots, produce organic acid that can dissolve minerals in rocks. Erosion is the removal of weathered material. The four main forces of erosion are water, ice, gravity, and wind. When it rains, the force of gravity pulls water down across the earth. The traveling water is called runoff. Water carries away loose sediment. The faster the water moves, the heavier the particles it can transport to create erosion. Huge masses of ice, called glaciers, move across the Earth's surface, carrying away chunks of rocks and scraping rock surfaces, wearing them down and creating grooves. Of course, gravity is the force that carries water and glaciers downhill, but gravity doesn't only cause the water to move, it can also cause erosion through mass movement or erosion of land. Some examples are rock slides and mud flow. Wind blows loose rock and sand against other rock surfaces and can transport these particles across a landscape. And this is all what I have for you for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.